G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for being here and giving me the privilege of entertaining you for the next 25-30 minutes. Who knows how long it's gonna be. But today we are previewing All Blacks versus the Irish for the Decider July International Test Series 2022. Woo! Are you excited as I am? Because oh man. So obviously following the second test, the Irish has put a historic upset. Would you even call that upset? Historical win over New Zealand. In New Zealand. And this was the first time the Irish team beat New Zealand in the in Aotearoa. And yeah, you know, the ceilings has collapsed. The All Blacks home is under siege. Lots of chat in the media about the referees. You know, I have my couple videos beforehand talking about the referees. Just want to quickly touch on that. The way the referees judging high shots and taking, you know, concussion very seriously these days, that is not going your way. World Rugby is getting sued. The only way for the All Blacks to move forward and to ever want to, you know, to retain that, you know, reputation as the best team in the world is to adapt. It's like, you know, nature. Survival of the fittest. If you can't adapt, you are going to be, you are going to lose. It's just the way it is. And some of you, you know, guys have mentioned in the comments, you know, oh, a lot of the red cards are unavoidable. Like, how is Fainga'anuku going to change his directions in the air? But it's just come down to training. It's about judging the situation and making better decision making on the field. And like it or not, teams like France, Ireland has made an effort to improve. They were red cards in 2021, Six Nations. Wales literally won Six Nations in 2021 by playing against 14 players. That's how many red cards there were in 2021. And in 2022, both Ireland and France played the whole season without a single red card, not even a single yellow card. It comes down to training. It's absolutely doable. It just comes down to training, and the All Blacks is falling behind. Australia is falling behind. If we don't make a change, we're not going to be able to win the Rugby World Cup. That is, you know, that is the fact. That is the writing is on the wall. You have to make a change, like it or not, and it is just the way it's going to be. So going to this game with that in mind, obviously the discipline is going to be a huge issue for the All Blacks. The third test, the All Blacks, when it comes to decider, always bring another level of intensity. And it's all about controlling that intensity. Is really, really important. If the All Blacks comes out and gives someone a yellow card, maybe a red card, Scott Barrett, that could be really, really, really bad for the All Blacks. And sure, you know, you can complain, you can say whatever. Yeah, it's not going back. And obviously, the All Blacks made sweeping changes from last week's game. There were some few key points. Obviously, Angus Tarver had a red card. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck getting his debut, coming off the bench at number 23 position. And David Havili returns to 12 position for the All Blacks to have a look at exact all the changes in details. But Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, many touted him to be, you know, one of the best players for the number 12 jersey. He's showed a lot of potential. I was very excited. I thought they should have debuted him in the first test in Eden Park, but they decided to put him on the bench for the third test. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, one thing I did notice during the Super Rugby, he likes that rugby league style hug tackle. Could be a head collision, head clash, and could be a yellow card or red card coming. So hopefully the team has been working with him for that, but he does have that habit. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he doesn't draw a card this game. Angus Tarver, obviously, banned for a couple matches. I think 3 matches or something, so he's going to be out. There was some talks about Sam Cane. There was some sledge being thrown at him by Peter O'Mahony in the just before the end of the game, calling him like a shit version of Richie McCaw. And basically, yeah, there was some talks in the media about him not doing really well as the captain. I had a look at the stats. So, yeah, we're going to have a look at stats for that. Is that true? He does retain the captaincy in the All Blacks starting position. So, some interesting stuff. He actually performed quite well in terms of his work rate. So if you were to look at the defensive numbers, he has made by far the most tackles in the team, like completely, outworked everybody else in the team in terms of attacking. Did what a typical number 7 you would expect. Carried the ball a few times, made a few meters, and in terms of discipline, not giving away too many penalties. He gave away one. So Sam Cane, pretty good overall. I don't think the cause for him to be dropped is really warranted. And but you can see there are some changes. Tuanga Fasi had a bit of a discipline issue for the New Zealand team. Defending, missed tackle count, probably the key issue. But nobody really has that missed tackle count. But the work rate overall for the New Zealand pack is just a little bit lower if you just to quickly switch to Ireland side. Yeah, you can see the tackle count from the Irish 4 packs. Just 21 tackles from Van der Fleer, Josh Van der Fleer. Like, that is, even like, the amount of players who are doing around this more than Sam Cane or close to Sam Cane's work rate, who is the highest. It's just, astonishing how much of difference in terms of the work rate both teams are showing. So, as you can see here, like, it's almost day and night. You can clearly see the difference in terms of work rate between the two packs. And also, the other thing that I kind of wanted to mention is the kicking game. So the All Blacks definitely lost in 2 key areas. One is the kicking, one is the breakdown. So the kicking game, obviously, from kick from hand, Irish really done much better in terms of managing the kicks. And also the rucks, the amount of breakdown, that's lost by New Zealand quite a bit more than the Irish side. So another thing that needs to be touched up on top of the discipline issues that the New Zealand was having. So overall, these are some of the areas the New Zealand needs to fix. And Fozzie, it does look like I have a lot of confidence in this selection by the New Zealand, because Fozzie does look like he looked at some of these issues and tried to address it with his selection. So with that in mind, let's have a look at some of the changes for the All Blacks team. So Irish team, first up, unchanged 4-pack. In fact, Ireland only made one change due to an injury to what's his name? To Ringrose, who suffered concussion. That is literally the only forced change by the Irish team. I'm sure they would have played Ringrose if he wasn't injured. But yeah, for the New Zealand side, lots of changes all over the place. Nipul Alala comes in number 3. He has been a pretty good performer coming off the bench for the Blues in the Super Rugby. And if memory serves me correctly, I am a little bit worried about Nipul Alala. He does have a bit of a high tackle habit. So fingers crossed he's going to be okay this game. But yeah, that's one thing to really watch out for as Nipul Alala number 3. Brodie Retallick comes in number 4. Sam Wildkard returns to number 5. He has been tremendous for the All Blacks in the first test. And yeah, he had a bit of concussion, so he had to take a week or so off. And he was really, really instrumental in the Crusaders winning the Super Rugby final. So having that championship, having that world-class experience coming in again for the All Blacks is really, really, really important. And just really give that 4-pack a little bit of more stability for the set pieces and for the scrummaging as well for the All Blacks. Scotty Barrett goes back to the blindside flanker position. I thought he did. Yeah, so basically what happened was in the first test, Scott Barrett really put the foot down and did a lot of work for the All Blacks. And he did his stats was through the roof essentially after the first game. But in the second game, as we saw just then, his stats kind of quieted down a lot in the lock position. So putting him back in the 6, maybe he will bring that work rate that he had in the first test once again for this one. And if he does, that's something that the All Blacks desperately needs. Sam Cane, number 7, needs a bit of help with his blindside flanker, and Scott Barrett is really needing to show that this weekend. Also, Scotty brings that third line-out jumping option. He's a world-class lock, so having 3 world-class lock really locks down that line-out for the All Blacks, and also that more defense. Scott Barrett is one of the best in the world at that as well. So it really shuts down a lot of the attacking options out of the 4-pack for the Irish side, having 3 locks on the field, especially Scotty at 6. So in the back line, some of the changes for the All Blacks as well. As we can see that Sevu Reece gets moved to number 11 jersey. Fainga'a Nuku, after his perfect debut, he had a shocking game last week, gets dropped. David Havili gets in at 12. This is probably the biggest and most important change for the lineup for the All Blacks, because the David Havili for his Crusader season has worked a lot on his kicking game. Yeah, so he's been playing like that second 5A style that Eddie Jones, that Australian teams tends to favor a lot, and he's gonna bring that to the All Black team. And the main thing about David Havili with his kicking game is Irish team is not really the best kicking team in the world. In club rugby, a lot of the Irish players showed, Keenan, even Johnny Sexton showed weakness in their kicking game, and that they do like rely heavily on that 4-pack to give them full momentum, so they don't have to do that kicking game. But when it comes to the kicking game with an extra bit of a kicking option from the 12 position, I think this is just a little bit of extra spice that the All Blacks needs. And Havili will bring that. We'll have to see how that works. I really hope that Fozzie didn't just have a conversation with David, like, hey guys, no kicking today. And something that I felt like definitely was talked about at halftime, because the All Blacks kicking just literally went down to like non-existent in the second half, despite having some of the best kicking game, players with the best kicking game in the world. And that really kind of just pigeonholed the All Blacks into running the ball out of positions that's probably not the most favorable position for them, and resulting in some, unwanted errors out of the team. So really, I'm very, very interested to see how David Havili is going to perform and what style he's going to bring for the All Blacks. Will Jordan gets called into number 14. He was, despite coming off the bench for like 30 minutes or 35 minutes, he was, like we showed in the stats, one of the highest run meter guys in the game, in the team. He had an opportunity in the second test where he made a line break, and you can see him. You've seen him done this before, where he could have kicked the ball through and chased it down, but he didn't do that. So I felt like that. Yeah, I really hope Fozzie didn't just tell everyone to not kick the ball away, because let's face it, international rugby, to just blanket say no kicking is really it's really going to stifle a lot of the opportunities that is presented. It did show. Will Jordan made a break. He would have kicked that with the Crusaders and set himself up for a try, or even forced the penalty at a breakdown. He did not kick. He just got tackled. A wasted opportunity. So really interesting to see him finally getting the start number 14 jersey. So the kicking game from the New Zealand side is going to be better. Whether they're going to use it or not, it's another question. For the Irish side, the only change came from Ringrose out of 13. So Robbie Henshaw moves from 12. From inside center to outside center, Bandiaki, the big man, comes off the bench, the powerhouse, at 12. What a huge selection for him to play in a decider. In his, I think he was born in New Zealand, played for the Chiefs. And so Bandiaki gets that 12 jersey and really going to put a big physical game for his side. Mac Hansen is not a new addition, actually. He was added last week. Retained his jersey number 14. Hugo Keenan, 15. And so overall, the Irish side, the key of everything they try to do in the backline revolves on Johnny Sexton. So if Johnny Sexton, gets shut down, or if he gets hurt like he did in the first game, the whole kind of thing falls apart for the Irish side. I really feel like Joey Carberry is not good enough to be the next starting number 10 for the Irish team. And I really, because I did watch Joey Carberry in the Champions Cup against Dupont's team, where they went to like the penalty goals, but I just don't think he has that flair. Yeah, he just doesn't have that flair that Johnny Sexton brings, that quick decision making and that accuracy and clean execution that you see out of Johnny Sexton. Joey Carberry does, very stale in terms of the way he attacks. And with that being said, I was extremely impressed by Billy Burns when he played against the Stormers in that semi-final in the URC. And I was blown away by how good he was. The way he directed traffic, the way he made those really, really good kicking behind the gang line and able to recover the ball. Like, those were just, those are, true, real talent there. And I really hope that the Irish team give him another shot, even coming off the bench, because he is quite a talent that I think, being overlooked because of his poor debut in 2020 or 21. His poor debut in 2021. I do feel like his talent, yeah, it's probably, he has that spark that's similar to Johnny Sexton that Ireland should not just ignore. That's my thoughts there. And so, yeah, overall, I think the interesting part again for the All Blacks, another thing I want to mention, so let's go to the bench. So, obviously, the All Blacks had Tuanga Fasi get dropped to the bench. Dan Coles opted for more experience for that hooker position, comes in at 35 years of age, pretty often the All Black, and comes in at number 16. Dan Coles is really good. He's still full of energy, coming off the bench, as good as you can get. The Irish team, actually, Rob Herring is not a new addition. He was here last week. The only change of the Irish team in the backline is Keith Earls, obviously due to Bandiaki getting moved up to the starting and Ringrose getting taken off the team. So Keith Earls getting added into the 23 jersey. But for the All Blacks, Akira Ioane gets called into number 19. I was really surprised that they opted for Tui Pelotu last week over Akira Ioane. To be frank, I thought Akira would have been selected last week, but they opted to put in Tui Pelotu. Sure enough, the bench last week for the All Blacks was really poor. There was a really lack of cohesion for the players coming off the bench. There was a lot of handling errors. And yeah, I can see why there's sweeping changes being done. Dalton Papali'i getting dropped to the number 20 jersey from the starting position on 6. Falau Fakatava last week made his debut. Not the best debut you would expect. He that flair, that talent that he had showed in Super Rugby didn't really put on any display. It didn't really show at all. Last week, Richie Mo'unga came off the bench. Yeah, threw a pass, kind of went out of bound. That's kind of like the highlight. That was not very good. So, and biggest thing that everybody wants to see is Roger Tuivasa-Sheck debuting for the All Blacks in that number 12 spot. So here's an interesting thing, right? The All Blacks bench has shuffled up they have made different moves with Richie Mo'unga for 2 weeks now. So in the first week, Richie Mo'unga went to fullback. They kept Beauden Barrett on the field, and then they took out both centers in the first week, and they had Brandon Ennor and Geordie Barrett moving into center position. So they had Geordie Barrett moving to center in the first week, and Richie Mo'unga at fullback. So in the second week, which is last week, they took off They took off Beauden Barrett for Richie Mo'unga, and had Will Jordan moving to fullback last week, and having Geordie Barrett at center again. So yeah, really weird the way that they're moving Geordie Barrett to center. I know he's been telling that he wants to play center. So that's 2 games for Geordie Barrett in center essentially. So this week, I really don't think they're gonna do that again. I don't think Geordie Barrett will get a center position this week. I think Richie Mo'unga would. I would be very surprised if Richie Mo'unga takes the 10 jersey this week. He's probably going to go to fullback and maybe even go to the wing. I'm not sure where Richie Mo'unga's going to go because Beauden Barrett and RTS are teammates from the Blues. I don't see RTS playing next to Richie Mo'unga. The two players have literally never played before. That would be a disaster. I feel like that's, especially for someone that's transitioning from another sport into union, I see that as a bit of a, yeah, that could be a disaster in the second half. So, and also with Rico Ioane at 13, I feel like just taking him and putting him in that 12 jersey and keeping his teammates both side of him is the best option. So Richie Mo'unga, where's he going to go? Geordie Barrett's definitely not going to go to outside centre. I mean, if they do that, if they put Geordie Barrett at outside centre and put Richie Mo'unga at 10, I honestly don't know how this is going to go. But I feel like what's probably going to happen is they're going to put RTS at 12 and then Richie Mo'unga, yeah, I don't know. I think he might go on for like a winger position this time. I'm actually not too sure. But I'm guessing what Fonzie has in line is they're gonna put Richie Mo'unga at fullback, and they're gonna try Geordie Barrett at outside centre, keeping Beauden at 10. So having Beauden kind of like looking out for RTS from the 10 position, and just have Beauden Barrett Geordie Barrett at 13, and move Rico out on the wing. That's probably, I think, might happen. But honestly, I don't really know how this is going to work. Because, I mean, if they just put Richie at 10, that's just, yeah, such a weird decision there. Anyway, that's kind of like it. So, once again, the All Blacks, discipline this week. It's the key. The 4-pack was our match, our work last week. Needs to step up. If that happens, the All Blacks has a good chance of winning, and the All Blacks always steps up in the third test. My predictions for this game, I think the All Blacks are gonna squeeze out this one I think the All Blacks are gonna squeeze out this one. Maybe 25 points to 21. Yeah, that's maybe 25 points 21, 25 points to 22, something like that. So yeah, let me know your thoughts of this game. Let me know your predictions. How do you think the changes of the 4-pack's gonna fare against the Irish side? And how do you think the discipline's gonna go? How many red cards are we gonna see this week? How many yellow cards are we gonna see this week? And really do appreciate you being here, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to buy me a coffee, hit the join button down below. Otherwise, I'm happy for you to be here. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later. Cheers.